Fred, please.
Fred, a little calmer this week than last week.
For who? For you or me?
No, for you. Just no more babies, like you're cool.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to get a couple days, and obviously the conference finals is every other day. And so, it's nice to get a couple days in between to kind of decompress a little bit, try to rest any, ailments you have, and recharge and refocus, and try to get ready for Thursday. So, obviously, we were on a pretty big high after closing the series out, but now we've got to shift our focus towards Golden State.
I guess had a couple of days to kind of study them a little bit. I'm sure there's always a minute when you look at a team you're supposed to play at this level and go, what do we do? But what's it like looking at a team that's that good, that accomplished, and trying to figure out?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to game plan for these guys. They've done it at a really high level for a long time now, and they play really well. And they're not a perfect team by any means, but they do what they do at a high level, and they don't leave you very much margin for error. And so you got to understand going out there, you got to be really locked into whatever our game plan is at the time, and just a mental focus that it's going to take to try to win against this team. Our mental focus has got to be at an all-time high, and that's one thing that we just got to think about in the next couple of days going forward, is just how in tune we have to be on the defensive end, offensively, and just trying to execute every aspect of our game plan.
In terms of your job and assignment, Fred, you had to chase JJ the second round, who's an elite guy like that. But is there anyone in the league that puts kind of more pressure on you on the perimeter than Steph?
No. I don't even know if there's a close second. He's just a different kind of player. He changes the entire dynamic of a team, of an offense, of whatever defense you hope to put out there. And as another guy who's going to have to try to chase him around and make it hard on him, obviously, there's not going to be any time to relax or take plays off or anything like that. So you got to be, like I said, really locked in mentally and just understand what he brings to the table. And at the end of the day, just go out there and try to make it tough on him, try to challenge him, and, do the best I can.
More and more guys are taking those long threes that Steph kind of started. But did he almost kind of break the rules of how you have to guard someone on the perimeter?
Yeah, I don't know if he was the first person to ever do it, but I know he's certainly done it at the highest level for the longest amount of time. He literally changed the game in the last however many years, and kind of revolutionized the way people think about offense and shooting, and obviously from a guard, just being able to shoot from that far out opens the floor up so much. So I think he was one of the main guys to be able to do that, and obviously you see it, blossoming for a guy. I always think of Trae Young coming in as a rookie, shooting those shots. Like, I couldn't imagine a guy doing that 10 years ago as a rookie, coming in, just firing them, make or miss. It doesn't matter, because you know what it can turn into. And I think that stuff is kind of opening doors a little bit for that.
So Fred, saying that, how do you not gonna stop and how do you slow it down?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what our plan is, but I think that just try to go out there, and this is what any player in the NBA likes: space, freedom, movement. Nobody really wants to be banged on and touched on and held and grabbed, and just got to try to be as physical as you can, slow them down, and keep it contest. And so a guy like that, who is a really good shooter against contests, you can't really give him free looks and let him feel free and easy. You just got to try to muck it up and keep the pressure on him, and stay attached, and chase him around and send him to help. But it's a 5-man job, and we got to understand that it's not a one-on-one or Steph versus Kyle or Kawhi versus whoever. It's a 5-on-5 game, and our team defense is going to have to be really good, and we're going to make mistakes, and we got to be able to clean each other's mistakes up, and second fire, third fire. You got to be able to just keep playing and play through runs and play through mistakes and be able to help each other.
Obviously, different scores, different types of players, but does it make you, even as a teammate, as a player, appreciate then what Kawhi can do, where he can score in so many different ways, but then also still be able to be that physical defender and bring it on that end of the court?
Yeah, for sure. There's not a lot of guys, unfortunately, in our league that can do that. And it's not like, we asked Kawhi to do that all year. I think that's something that's kind of in the tank, right, for these type of moments. There's none left to rest for now, right? So a guy who's that skilled as an offensive scorer and who's been scoring at that clip that can still be that dominant as a defensive player is pretty special, and that's how you get yourself in some of those conversations as one of the best players to lace them up. So we understand what Kawhi brings to the table, and obviously we appreciate him and are glad that he's on our side, and we're going to need him at a high level this series.
Fred, you talked about moving past the emotional high of winning in the conference finals. What do you do to do that? And is that something you guys talked about as a group, kind of making that mental move on?
No, it's not that difficult. You win, you have a great night, and you enjoy it, and you wake up and you sleep or whatever you do the next day, and then come in yesterday and we work out and we watch film and we move on. So none of us in October and July and June of last year were working out thinking about the conference finals. You know, it's a great accomplishment, and we're happy to be taking that next step. But you want to win a championship, and you want to win the whole thing. It's not about just making it to the finals. We're not satisfied. We're not happy to be here. We're really hungry, and we want to go out here and have a chance to win it, and we've earned it, and we deserve it. And now it's just a matter of going out there and having to perform at a high level on the biggest stage. I mean, we certainly don't have that attitude. I can't control what other people think or feel. Obviously, I feel that there's a general high in the city of Toronto and people just excited for the opportunity and getting over that hump. But as players, we're not happy or satisfied with what we've done. It's like I said, a great accomplishment to be able to do it in the fashion that we did it. And that was a big moment, and then you move on. You enjoy it, and like I said, you wake up the next day and you move on, and certainly, we're going out there to take it another step, and then we can celebrate and have all the parties you guys want to. But until then, we're going to try to stay pretty locked in.
Fred, is there anything about Steph that's a little bit underrated?
Underrated? I don't know if a guy like that. It depends on what's rated, like who's rating him.
Something I guess when you're studying him and
Like that you don't notice. Yeah, I think that it's been glorified a little bit more now. It's just his movement off the ball when he gives it up. Obviously, we're starting to see it more. Like I know they telecast focus on it like quite a bit, but I think he's a really good rebounder. He has a nose for the ball, and he crashes the offensive glass way more than you would think for a guy of his size and stature, and he's just really got a good nose for the ball, and he makes big plays, and he's tough, and he's not I wouldn't call him a lockdown defender by any means, but he makes big plays for those guys, and he is what he is. I'm not gonna sit up here and compliment him all day because we got to go out there and compete, but obviously, a guy like that, you respect him, and I'm gonna try to go out there and beat him, and that's our mindset.
Fred, when you look at the challenge Pascal's had from Joel, Giannis, and now may get Draymond in the final, how have you seen him react to that challenge of, like, that's two of the greatest guys there are?
Yeah, I think that just seeing the growth and the adaptation of Pascal. I've been knowing Pascal for a few years now. Obviously, we played against each other in college, and just watching his growth as a player and having not played the game since he was young, got on pretty late. So to see the growth and maturity and just how fast he picks things up has been pretty special. And he's answered every challenge that we need him to do. We need him to score. He scored. We need him to guard. He's guarded. He's guarded everybody that you can think of. I just remember, our first 2 years, him coming in the league, first impression, he's got to guard KD as a rookie, right? Obviously, we know the LeBron story. He was one of the main guys that had to guard him. So he's had those experiences, he's had those battles, and that forward, 3-4 position in this league is very, very tough. Those are the greatest of the greats in that position, and Pascal's had to battle against all of them. So he's definitely earning his stripes, and hopefully those experiences will allow him to go out there and be able to have a good foundation to be able to guard whoever we need him to guard.
You were one of the few guys who saw him play in his rookie year, or played with him, both with the Raptors and 905. How much did what you did there, and the way you played there, change your perception of him as a player?
I think we got different viewpoints of like the G League, D League experience. Like, I think for me, just that kind of just changes a player's mindset. Going, he didn't do anything down there that I never seen him do. It's just he's having the opportunity to do it. So just to see it flush out of his system and kind of go out there and put it into a game scenario and watching him score and his skill set has developed so much over the last few years. But like you see him run the floor, like you would see him run the floor a couple of times and up here. And, you know, when he was starting the first 20 games and he would get a couple of dunks from Kyle and stuff like that. And then you go watch him down there, and I was playing with him, and he's running the floor, he's rebounding, he's getting to the line. And it just seems like a Pascal game. And you go to the stat sheet, he's got 35 or 30 points, and you're like, damn, he's really putting the ball in the rim at a high level. So I think his scoring is really took a big step, and obviously the shooting is a big part of that.
Brett, you talked about the sort of passion of the fans here. Do you have a sense of how unique that is in the NBA to have that kind of level of excitement? You know, that the people come outside. Does it kind of make you think more of like a kind of crowd fan base you had at Wichita State maybe than?
Yeah, I think there's some similarities there. I think that somebody was saying it's more like soccer, you know, like how those fan bases are so passionate. But I don't know. I just think we got a really good fan base. I don't know what to compare it to. I think that it's definitely unique in the NBA, and I think that our situation is unique where the fans are so thirsty for success and so hungry, and obviously there's been a lot of ups and downs through this franchise, and so to be in this position is a big jump. And you know, like I said, we'll see how crazy they get once we take care of business. But until then, I'm not too concerned about whatever that may bring. I love the support. Us players definitely appreciate it. I know this organization appreciates it, to see those fans outside during the game when it's raining or whatever the case may be. They're still out there, and obviously we got a pretty good home court advantage as well. So our fans bring it almost every night. They travel. We see them in many NBA cities, and we see them all over the world. Every time I go on vacation, I find about 100 people from Toronto. It pisses me off because I'm just trying to go enjoy myself and have a drink on vacation. But you know, it's something that you really take to heart, and you cannot take it for granted as a player. So obviously there's a really good connection between us as players and our fans, who we really appreciate.
Brett, each of the teams you guys have faced along this playoff run have been so different style-wise. Can you speak to the team's ability to be adaptable, how effective you guys are at that, and how much effective you'll need to be in this?
Yeah, it's been really wild. You know, just like as a player, you get so used to routine and being stuck in whatever. This is what we do. We're gonna do it at a high level, and we don't care what the other team is doing. I think that Nick has kind of changed that a little bit, where we were really adaptable throughout the year. We struggled sometimes because of it. We tried a lot of different things, and some of those things didn't mesh and they didn't make sense. But now at this point in the season, we're able to do a lot of different things, and we've been through those adversities to prove it. So, like you said, Orlando is way different than Philly. Philly different from Milwaukee, and we were able to win in different ways and go from, you know, a one-on-one ISO show in Philly to playing 6 guys to more of a bench ball movement, moving the ball around against Milwaukee, and you got to be able to do that. So the playoffs is really long, and there's a lot of ups and downs and a lot of different ways you got to win the ball games. And I think that, you know, now is another step to playing the Warriors, which is entirely different than anybody else in the league, and we understand that. So I think just being adaptable, having a lot in your toolbox, and just being able to go out there and play at a high level regardless of what style of play you're playing is something that can help you in certain situations.
Reg, you talked about understanding that there's going to be mistakes. One of the things with the Warriors is they can go on those big, quick runs. When those runs are happening, how important is it going to be to stay in the moment, not get overwhelmed by it?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of playing against these guys, is knowing how hot they get, and they're really explosive. And I think that we've dealt with that. That's the playoffs in general. I think that Philly went on some crazy runs against us. I know Milwaukee certainly did a couple of those games, and some of the games we responded and some didn't. But we understand what it's going to take to get yourself out of those situations, and you just got to know that it's not going to be a perfect game. There's no perfect game plan, and we're certainly not going to play perfect. So just got to weather the storm, stay locked in, keep competing, keep fighting. If they make a couple in a row, keep taking the ball out, take it down the other way, and let it fly. And so just got to continue to keep scrapping and playing our game, and I think the rest will take care of itself.
As a point guard, is that something you're more mindful of, whether keeping the tempo up?
Yeah, I think just keeping the pace up, right? It's harder to score when you're taking the ball out the net every time, but something you got to make a conscious effort to do is take the ball out, get it up the floor, run something, try to get another bucket to stop the bleeding, or even if we're not scoring, to get to the foul line, something like that, just to keep the flow of the game and not hang your head every time they make a good play.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What's that? What are you thinking? such a, after 4 o'clock, that sushi was pretty close. There's no credit card, it's cash. Yeah, that's so yeah, cash. You know what's open, you know what's open, the, if you go down the street on, Eglinton down to the bigger houses, where the hospital is, there's this, Chinese or Vietnamese place, that supermarket's open at New Year's Day,
Oh, it's so good. It's like,
everyone loves it, but there's one in, Woodbridge too.
oh, really?
Yeah, by, Highway 7 and, Western Road. Famous corner. Yeah, 'cause your dad lives in By Lyola. Do you live in Lyola? Yeah. That's such a weird guy.
They changed it now, it's like Earthsville now.
Yeah, but there's a new, Lyola?
Yeah.
They got a nice church.
Not a lot of people.
What was the newest school?
We did a story on.
I went to two of my boys, one of them died out. John Mark, this swap.
I get what the town is because it's desperately put town to make some beautiful memory stuff. All French. Which he always says, I never asked him to do this, but I know he enjoys it. This I don't know.
Kindergarten teachers.
Yeah. Actually, when I'm like, I take that.
This is good because it just. Yeah, but you can't, like, this is not how this works. This team is so observed. But people think, oh, no, they're like, let's go to. It doesn't like it in sports. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But it sucks because
she's like, I bought tickets to like, this is, you should, you should have checked, she's just. And they're signing an intern. Did you throw good at the bus for this guy? They shouldn't do this unless the family's name is Corey Winters. What is the fucking Yeah, I always feel bad. Oh, it's something like that. Say you fucking goon shit. Does he want to see you? I'm still going to do that thing where I read something else. This is just. I haven't seen that fucking. I haven't seen that fucking. What do you do with your because it's not. I'm assuming, I haven't read anything about it. I'm assuming, I think they're making a good. I think the drop dead is a little bit. I know, that's why. This is how it explains.
We waste a lot of time. Yep. Oh.
Thank you, God.
Pass skills and things away.
There's a bunch of questions. Come on, tell me to do it.
challenge of this series and the matchups that you may face with Golden State?
Yeah, I think it'd be different matchups. They're versatile. They got different type of players, and you know, obviously guys that can handle the ball, guys that can shoot. So it's just different type of players to guard, and I think for me, obviously I'm being on different players and we guard different players that do different things. So I just kind of got to be ready for everything.
How do you feel about your playoff run so far for the first 2 rounds?
I mean, I think I'm learning. I think it's just me like understanding that I mean it's the playoffs and teams pay attention to everything you do, and so you just definitely gotta kind of work on your weaknesses and find a way to just be better, and like I think it's more like a thinking game, and like also obviously you're gonna work on some things and trying to add different things, but I think just knowing what the team is trying to do and kind of like use that to your advantage and do something different. So I mean it's been good, man. I'm enjoying every second of it. Obviously excited to be at this stage, and it's a fun, exciting moment.
Pascal, the tests that you guys as a team has faced the last couple of rounds, how much different styles, looking really good offensive teams, how much do you think that has prepared you guys for the Warriors? Obviously their offense is different.
Right. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's different offenses, different, type of players, and I think it's like all the things you have to worry about. But I think, just us as a team collectively, we've had some good runs of, good defense, and where we helped each other and we played as a group on defense. And I think that's going to be the most important thing for us this series, like understanding that, it's going to be a physical game. It's going to, it's going to take team defense to be able to beat them. Not one player or one defender is gonna beat them. It's gonna be us collectively stopping them.
Pascal, à quoi tu t'attends contre les Warriors? À quel point ça va être différent?
Ouais, je pense que pour eux, en plus, ils ont beaucoup de tireurs, de shooters, et puis bon, ils sont là, ils ont de l'expérience et ils étaient là depuis longtemps. Donc, je pense que ça sera quelque chose de différent en termes de style de jeu. Donc, je pense que en allant, bien sûr, tu regardes les matchs d'avant, mais ce sont les playoffs et des trucs changent. Je pense que pour nous, on essaie de se préparer comme un peu, aller au premier match et puis de là essayer de changer des trucs.
Pascal, is there another player in the league even close to Steph in terms of what he can do offensively?
I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, he can shoot the ball. I mean, he's an amazing shooter. I don't think we've seen, a guy that can shoot like that. And obviously being able to handle and also, I think he's underrated, finishing, because he can finish. He got tough finishes. So definitely, definitely a package that, not a lot of players have.
How do you help as bigs with the guards in terms of trying to slow him, let alone play and everything else?
Right. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. He can pull up from far, and it's gonna take maybe some switching or just making sure that he doesn't get a lot of clean looks. I mean, you gotta make it hard for him.
I was asking Fred this as well, but does it make you appreciate it to see a guy like Kawhi who can clearly a different type of scorer, the way he scores, but then has the ability to play on the defensive end too, and the complete total package?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the type, that's what Kawhi did his whole career, and that's why, is a guy that, you definitely want to have on your team, a guy that can score 40 points and still defend the best player on the other team.
Obviously seeing some awesome defenders during the playoffs that, you're probably going to see a bit of Draymond Green coming up. What makes him special as a defender?
I mean, I think, definitely being his size and you know, I think he's really active and he can move and also being strong and be able to guard bigger guys or move his feet and guard smaller defenders. I mean, smaller offensive players. So definitely special, man. And I think he definitely the things that he does for their team is definitely important, and he's a big part of their success.
Comparisons to Draymond for the last few years. Steve Kerr mentioned it again yesterday. Do you see it?
I mean, obviously, All-Star. I mean, is just, you know, being in that conversation. You know, it definitely, you know, it's flattering. But like I always said, and for me, I think I've always tried to be myself and be the player that I want to be, and you know, I want to be I don't want to be the next Draymond Green. I want to be, you know, the new Pascal.
Pascal, je disais ce matin que tu étais le premier joueur du Cameroun à atteindre la finale de la NBA. Comment tu te sens?
Ça fait vraiment plaisir. Mon agent hier m'a dit que j'ai eu un message du ministre de Sport au Cameroun. Donc, bien sûr, ça fait la fierté en tant que Camerounais de pouvoir représenter le pays et d'être le premier Camerounais en finale de la NBA. Donc, c'est un honneur et vraiment, je suis vraiment content d'être à ce stage de ma carrière et pouvoir atteindre ce niveau.
Pascal, you guys have had some big emotional ties. The Kawhi shots at East Philly, you know, winning the series in Central Conference. How do you reset mentally to kind of get back to sort of level ground for an NBA Finals?
I mean, I think one thing that we did, you know, from Orlando to Milwaukee to the Sixers, you know, once the series is over, you know, we move on and we know it's going to be a different series and I think you just got to reset and refocus on what you want to do, and it's a new team, different style of play. I think everything is different, so it's a different mindset. We don't think about everything else, you know. It doesn't matter how we got here. We're here and we're ready to you know, to win it.
Is it easy to do that, though, to just sort of put it in your rearview mirror?
I mean, I think so. I think. I don't know. What you think? I mean, it's like it's different players. Like I don't know. We can't. I mean, it's done. I guess. I think so. I don't know. I mean, maybe. But I think it's, you know, the game is over. Is next series, and you know, I think the jersey helps too. Different jerseys.
Thank you. Pascal, the NBA launching a professional basketball league next year in Africa. What kind of impact do you hope your time here at the Raptors in this year alone will have on aspiring Africans?
I think it's awesome. I think it's great. That's a really good question, man. Appreciate that question. I think it's really, you know, it's really important for African players and just me being here and kind of beloved. It's definitely great for the continent and every African player just being able to have that as an outlet, and also they have the NBA Academy, you know, and things like that. I think, you know, it's growing the game in Africa, and we can all you know, just be proud of that. And you know, I always give a shout out to guys like Luc Bahamute, you know, Lior Deng, and guys that was there before us, you know, kind of paved the way for us. And you know, I think hopefully we can continue to make the game grow, and hopefully we have way more kids from Africa having the opportunity to be here, and you know, at this stage.
Pascal, une dernière question en français, si ça ne dérange pas trop.
Ouais.
Comment on peut
Bien sûr.
changer le canal puis se préparer pour une autre équipe complètement? Est-ce que c'est facile de tout oublier ce qui s'est passé?
Okay, I'm just gonna translate that because he's gonna ask me the same question that my man over there asked me. You just want my answer in French. I appreciate that. Je pense que bien sûr, c'est différent, ce sont des différentes équipes et on essaye de, quand le match est fini, on oublie et on tourne la page. Et maintenant, c'est un nouveau challenge, c'est une nouvelle équipe et on essaye de se préparer pour affronter cette équipe. Donc, tous les matchs d'après, tu essayes d'apprendre des matchs, mais bon, à la fin, je ne sais pas comment ça va t'aider vraiment. Mais bon, c'est une nouvelle équipe, une nouvelle série et on essaie de gagner maintenant.